Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Spider-Man Miles Morales blind playthrough. And I figured it's been quite a long time since we took out one of the hideouts. So I'm figuring I'm gonna start this episode at least with that. Hopefully, because I feel I want to redeem myself. The very first hideout I took out went, how should I put this, horrendously. It was about as smooth as a shark skin. Horrendous analogy.
Just reorganized my notes from a podcast series, and I am ready to dig in. Go find that gem.
And shit went sideways. So I'm gonna leave. You're leaving the mission. If you leave this mission, you have to restart it from the beginning next time. Do you want to leave it anyway? Yes. I'm gonna reset the mission. Come back. These hideouts are not working out great for me, I feel. But it would be great to be able to stealth my way through one of these. And that's what I'm gonna try to go for. Hopefully, we can get in at a better angle this time.
Some disturbing news has just crossed my desk.
If we sneak up on the outside of this wall and we activate our cloaking device,
Hey Danica,
it
I'm at
should
another hideout.
give me sufficient time.
Just reorganized
Get
my
up
notes
here.
from a podcast series, and I am ready to dig in. Go find that jammer.
And what I'm thinking, what am I thinking? That I will slowly work my way down. This guy seems to be the one that's being bullied by the other bad guys. He doesn't have any friends. Shit. Standing up there all by his lonesome was what I was gonna say. Before that sphincter tightening moment when the game suddenly decided like, you're gonna jump down now. Yes, that seems like a good idea. No. It shouldn't seem like that. But anyway, it worked out. We took his ass down and no one's the wiser. Let's see. There are quite a lot of enemies. I want to gain some ground so I can get an overview of this area. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people. Is that all of them? Hopefully so. Do 5 takedowns while being camouflaged. Well, as I have mentioned in previous videos, I am a big fan of the camouflage ability because it is so insanely overpowered. Let's see. Who should we take out next? There is a safe box down there. So if we go over here, I could try pressing the right button. It will draw the attention of those three. I'm just gonna cloak myself. That was not the wisest choice to go to. And there is another safe box over there. Or fuse box is perhaps a more correct term. They start getting a little bit anxious down there, so we're just gonna go for the high ground for a little bit, let things calm back down. Because it would be awesome to be able to do this without Hello? Why are you standing around there all alone? Saved it. And I don't even think he noticed me. I'm a sneaky spider. How many enemies do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. The only bad thing is I'm sitting up here blindly. And I'm not a big fan of not being able to see where the hell they are. And the only problem is that they seem a little bit on the anxious side. And we don't want them anxious now, do we? Want them to be nice, calm, collected, and completely oblivious.
Someone's messing with us! Get up here!
There's suddenly a lot of people. What's this? Like the place where they put the guys they don't like. Like, yeah, people have gotten their asses kicked over there, so we're gonna ban your ass to that place. Not sure how well this is gonna work, but surprisingly much, or surprisingly well. And it seems like when I'm up on this crane, I am so far up, so enemies will not be able to spot me, which is a great thing. So head back. Really? Did I get reinforcements? Let's do a quick head count. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like they have increased. Little bastards. Well, that should make it 9. I hope. And it's quite hard with these different levels. That it's hard to see which ones are on the same level as other enemies and stuff like that. But at least we are progressing. I would love to be able to take out the cosplayer. Hopefully without anyone noticing. Once again, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could swear they are getting reinforcements. Because it feels like even though I am taking out enemies, you can see I am taking out enemies. And they are just adding them in. Let's see, are you gonna be our next lucky target? Unsafe. The cosplayer is watching him. Nobody's watching you. And we head back up. Guerrilla tactics, that is the key. Now I'm gonna check the mini map. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should only be 7 enemies left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be a complete head count. So, I have taken out the majority of the enemies at least. And hopefully I'll be able to take out the rest as well. And you're safe to take out, so we just kill you. Apparently. And I want to get up there. And every time I see a crane in a video game nowadays, I always think of... I think I will always think of The Last of Us 2. Because that sequence with Abby and Lev, I know I mentioned it before. It's well worth mentioning again. I'm on that... Shit. I'm not a big fan of heights in real life. I suffer a bit from what's called vertigo. And when I played through that sequence, I could almost feel a tingling in my knees. Let's see. Are you... I cannot believe the invisible spider. I cannot believe they haven't found me yet. Let's see. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people left. And you'd think they should start feeling anxious by now. Shit. I fucked up. I may not have fucked up. I fucked up. Ah, so close to... They got reinforcements. They got a lot of reinforcements. That's okay. Yes, as I said, I think that sequence was so very well made. I am one of those people that think the game was, in general, very well made overall. I know a lot of people didn't agree. And I think it's sad for everyone involved. Because it was an extremely anticipated game. And seeing it from the perspective of the ones that really didn't like it, or the ones that hated it. I was following it on Twitter and people lost their mind. And having waited for a game that long, the anticipation and all the wait, just hoping for the release, watching trailers, and being disappointed of what the end result is. And no matter the reason why the game didn't meet someone's expectations, it didn't meet my expectations either. Not to a point where I was like, oh, fuck this game, fuck everyone involved, I hate all you people and you should all die. No, absolutely not. It's still just a video game. But I thought it was good. It was not as good as I had hoped. Biggest problem I had, I think I've talked a little bit about that, was I think that the story, how the tools they use to progress the story at times, I found to be a little bit forced. But I'm not gonna dwell on it. I thought it was a really good game. I loved being back in that universe and all that just to get my ass handed to me in the end. Pathetic. And everything is reset. Really? Okay, I'm gonna... And now I'm getting like hesitant. Should I give it one more attempt? Fuck it, why not? Yes. I was disappointed with some of the choices they made. Not the fact, not the catalyst for things kicking off in the beginning. I don't know if catalyst was correct term, but the reason for things kicking off. I had no problem with the fact that it happened. Yes, I wasn't super pleased with how it happened. I thought that was a bit cheap, and that is something that people have said at great length. And so I don't need to get into that. But and also when after the big parts, the how they justify, no, justify is not the correct term, but how they initiate the final act of the game, the Santa Barbara part. I don't know why I'm trying to say so hard out of spoilers, because we can talk about the settings, they're in my guide. Most of the game takes place in Seattle, and the final act of the game takes place in Santa Barbara. Because reasons. That I'm not gonna get into, because I don't want to spoil anything. But how they initiated, like Ellie's motivation for going to Santa Barbara, I found, wow, a little bit lacking. They could have done it in a more logical way that felt less forced. I have 2 snipers on me, and that is not a good situation to be in, even though the snipers in this game feel about as slow as they do in all games that contain snipers. But you don't want to end up on the business end of their rifles. And I'm getting nervous because that sniper up there, she is really not letting up. And I managed to press the wrong button in mid-air. That's the thing I was gonna do. But the most important thing is always the gameplay. Even in such a narration or narrative heavy game as The Last of Us, it still boils down in the end, at least for me, to the gameplay. And the gameplay was not perfect. I talked about that in my guide. I don't know if I still have the raw footage of the recording. If I do, I could like do a collage of times I got trolled by uh, by the game. Just the enemies seeing me through items. Like going into the bank in Seattle. If you check out my video, Seattle Day 1 with Ellie, I think it's in part 1. Yes, it must be in part 1. Going into the bank to fetch the shotgun. Inside that bank there is a bunch of infected, which is absolutely fine. What isn't fine is when you come into the bank, there is a runner woman pacing, and the amount of times she spotted me through a disc. Because what I do in going in there is I hide behind a desk and I take her out first. Because I think it's the smartest thing to do. And I failed a bunch of times due to she suddenly seeing me through a solid wooden disc. And runners aren't the most attentive infecteds you can come across. They are, even when they're in a passive state, like that woman isn't entirely because she is pacing, but when they're in a passive state, you can shine a flashlight in their faces. They will not react. Unless you make a noise, they will not acknowledge your existence. Oh my god, how many enemies are in this place? Because I'm sitting here just talking about The Last of Us, and this just never ends. Okay. Are you the last one? Just give up already.
Okay. All that's left is to find the jammer and shut it down.
Alright.
Wire runouts are a good place to start.
Seems to be...
There's a pulley over those crates.
Pulley over what crates? Ah, there we go.
Gotta stick it. As Pete would say, that's a bingo. Wow. It's a Magia trophy room. I found the jammer.
And...
Guess I can head out.
how do I get out?
Crap!
Being dramatic, eh?
The way out's blocked.
Should I call someone? Like backup?
I'll figure it out.
Use Venom to start the generator. Where's the...
That old
Oh,
elevator
there's the
could do it.
generator.
Take it out of here. We just need some juice.
So... How do I get to the generator?
Okay, now to wire that to the elevator.
Yes. So we clip on one of those, and there should be a conduit here somewhere.
Poker chips. Definitely the old crime family style.
Am I... Okay, So I'm supposed to hit the generator from the front.
Green's a little off on these bills. Guess the Maja never nailed down their counterfeiting operation.
So there must be a conduit here somewhere.
Man, I'm good.
Like that.
Their cunning trap has failed. Hey, consider the jammer jammed.
Perfect. Now I'm just gonna give the police an anonymous
Ah,
tip.
of
and
course.
boom! No more hideouts.
Appreciate the help. Did you get what you needed?
Yep. I'm gonna dig some more into this turf war between the underground and the Magia. Smells like a story.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to hearing the podcast.
So is that it? Alright. Did not go as planned, but I would still say that it was a success. So, but it did take longer than I had anticipated, so I'm gonna end this episode right here. And I wanna thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.